Hello and welcome to FinextraTV. We're in Rome at RiskX with Mastercard. Joining me in the studio now is Greg Ulrich, Chief AI and Data Officer at Mastercard. Greg, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's really good to have you in the studio and talking about a fascinating topic, Agentic AI systems. It's at the heart of a lot of discussions over the course of RiskX. Could you set the scene for us and tell us what is it capable of and what does it mean for commerce? We'll start there.
Sure. It's certainly, this is the year of agents, as you've heard. Basically, these are systems that instead of just recommending, can then take an action on behalf of the user or autonomously to enable something to happen more holistically. That's sort of the next stage of where we're going, particularly in the world of commerce. If you look at just the way people are interacting right now, searches on daily searches on ChatGPT are up over 2x over the last year. They're now 1.8 to 2.5 billion interactions a day. At the same time, Google searches are stagnant to declining. People are starting to use Google, Perplexity, and other systems like this much more frequently. A third of people say they're using these, and how people are searching is changing. Now, 60% of searches end up in 0 clicks, i.e. people are getting the information they need directly from their prompt or their question. As you start seeing these behavioral changes, it's only natural that people are going to want to transact within this same ecosystem. So I'm searching for running shoes, I get recommendations based on how I run, the distance, the problems I've had in the past, I've gone back and forth. It's just natural to want to execute within that flow, and that's where the agents and the AI assistants are looking to do things. So that's how it's starting to move to agentic commerce. You're going to have a single flow for a consumer, for a business to start interacting that way. And what we're trying to do is bring the transparency, the security, the safety, the accountability, so that ecosystem works just as well for a consumer and a merchant and an issuer as digital payments has over the last couple decades.
Some fascinating insights there, a lot of changes. Thank you for bringing us up to date. Could you, off the back of that, share some compelling use cases then and tell us how you see agent-to-agent commerce evolving going forward?
Sure. So if you think about how this is going to start transpiring, the first example would be I've searched for the running shoes and now I'm going to buy them. That will start getting more complicated. I'd like these running shoes, but I don't need them right now, so please buy them if they go on sale below this dollar amount and there's free shipping over the next 30 days. To even more complicated things, I'm planning a trip and I'd like you to book this kind of hotel and this type of car service or rental car, or this type of flight. Now I'm asking my agent to interact across a range of providers to execute this. This is going to continue to evolve, and we don't know exactly the path it will take, but it will continue to get more complicated. There are things that we're doing right now to make sure that we're ready for that future and we're prepared for what's happening today. It starts with Agent Pay, which is basically our system to allow these agents to make purchases and manage transactions on behalf of a user, and to do so in a safe, secure way using agentic tokens, which is the tokenization technology that we've applied to this context that we've used for years. That enables the safety, the security. We need to authenticate the agent into our system to make sure it's a real versus a rogue actor and bring that security to it. And then today we've announced a few other things. The Agent Toolkit, which is available on Mastercard developers, how AI agents and developers can get access to our APIs and our platforms and our products through an MCP server. And we have a pre-built and an SDK version of that. But that enables all of these platforms to integrate and take on the products and access the documentation and the products that we have through APIs within Mastercard. We've launched insight tokens. This is a way for which we can deliver insights to an agent and also the insights themselves, so we can over time help personalize these transactions with the user's consent, the consumer's consent, to enable these agents to provide the best possible experience for the context. We have an agent sign up. So again, if it's outside the payments ecosystem, we can still register an agent onto our system and know that it's a safe and secure way to be transacting and consuming our services. And finally, a series of consulting services, as this is new for everybody. And we want to provide resources to our merchants, to our issuers, to our acquirers, to fintechs, to others, to make sure they're ready for this evolution and can be on the forefront of it.
You've had some really interesting announcements over the course of the event, and it's interesting to see how Mastercard is leading the way in this space as well. Beyond agentic AI then, what and how does Mastercard think about AI in the wider payments ecosystem? What's the role there? And also, how can commerce become smarter, more personal, stronger, safer, all of those?
Yeah, so that's how we think about it. We think about AI in four areas, and I guess I'll back up. We've been using artificial intelligence for over 2 decades. It's really foundational to all the work we're doing with data and AI. And data and AI really powered our services business, which is close to 40% of our business right now, and is intended to and is sort of making our core payments ecosystem safer and more secure. And as that payments ecosystem gets better, we get more data that allows us to generate more products and services using that data on the back end in sort of a virtuous cycle. But the way we think about AI is it's helping make Mastercard stronger. Those are internal use cases. General purpose and role-specific agents, making our company better. And then we help the ecosystem in 3 ways. We make it smarter, improving authentication, all this work we're doing in agentic commerce. We're making it safer. We're bringing security to the ecosystem to make sure it's working appropriately. And we're helping make it more personal. We're not a B2C business, obviously, but we provide capabilities, software, insights to help our partners personalize things for their consumers. And AI is at the heart of all of that. I've talked about agentic commerce. I'll give you an example in security of how we're making the ecosystem safer. Think of that in a couple different ways. We've always had these AI systems that are very scalable. They're always learning from new data, from new patterns to be up to speed. We look at every individual transaction. That's called decision intelligence. And we've historically used AI to, when you tap your card and we see that pass through our network, we provide a score to that based on how likely that is a legitimate or fraudulent transaction on a 0 to 999 score back to the issuer. They take that score, put it in their system, and give a thumbs up or thumbs down. We're providing that insight. With Gen AI, we can bring so much more data to this. It used to be on a cardholder's previous transaction behavior. Now we can look at like cardholders. We can map other merchants that maybe you've never shopped at, but people with similar patterns have, and therefore add another 51 different features and variables into this model to increase the efficacy of this model. Now at the riskiest tiers, we're twice as able to identify a fraudulent transaction while maintaining the sort of false positive rate consistent. So we're adding efficacy without adding a drag on the system. And we're using AI and now Gen AI to make all of this better. It enables us to add security to the ecosystem every single day, because while we're using AI to protect the ecosystem, bad actors are using AI to evade and to come up with new attacks. And so there's a little bit of an arms race in that, and we're doing our best to stay ahead.
It's a fascinating space, one to keep an eye on. As the theme of the event goes, navigating unstoppable change, and Mastercard is helping with that. Greg, thank you so much for sharing your interesting insights. I'm looking forward to touching on those further down the line, but thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.